Because from the way things are,
Yes.
it will be interpreted, these are political times. First, elections will have to hold.
Yes.
And so preceding that, they'll do this kind of rallies. And if security had told them, don't come out, they can interpret it separately or wrongly, saying, well, why should we not come out? And because you can't say the same thing for all political parties not to hold their rallies. What about investigating and bringing those who are involved in this kind of scenario to book and in good time? Can we do that?
Well, that's what I really expect us to do. That shouldn't be pushed.
Because it looks as if when these kind of things happen, if the press turns off for a bit, you never get to hear prosecution or any such thing happen.
Yeah, I think there's need to send some very strong message to people who take delight in perpetuating violence, and letting them realize that it's not going to be business as usual, and that they can't get away with it. So, my take is that this should be done as soon as possible.
Because in the same River State, it's been designated now from the report we're reading as a flashpoint, possible flashpoint. In fact, a flashpoint. That's the same place where INEC tells us, the last time we checked, 14,000 permanent voter cards had been stolen and snatched. That records the highest. And then we've read several reports in the dailies about buses in several parts of the country, truckloads of ammunition coming to the country, intercepted. Are we bracing up for the challenge that we will face for this forthcoming elections, do you think?
Well, I personally want to believe that the formal security apparatus or agents that organizations we have in the country, they are not oblivious of these happenings. And I want to believe that something has been done. I don't have to start, we don't have to mention names here, but we've had, people swearing that there will be, that Nigeria will be history and what have you. So, I'm glad that people have raised their voices against such unguarded utterances or comments. And then there's been some kind of quiet from such provocative and volatile statements or comments lately.
These chaps who carry out these things, it does appear that they have, in different parts of the country, it looks as if they have backing in certain high quarters, because this was being televised live. And they threw caution to the wind and went ahead and did what they did. That was beamed across the world, actually. And so if that could happen when it's being beamed across the world, who knows what could happen if maybe it's just one enclave. Are we really stepping up the game? Because yes, you've said something is being done, but do we get the sense that, okay, we can leave it to security? They will do what they have to do while we go ahead for the elections.
Well, again, what I like to say here is that security is everybody's business. Security is too serious a business that you can even leave in the hands of the military or in the hands of the police alone. It is everybody's business. And that's why you find people, going to study, going to undertake security studies, even civilians. And when they sit down to analyze security, you'll be amazed. So what am I saying here? What I'm saying is there's also the need for the various political parties, various individuals, to make their own arrangements too. To make their arrangements.
Security arrangements?
Oh, why not?
How?
For crying out loud, as we speak, in this country, there are licensed security outfits. And some of the security outfits are managed by credible people. You understand?
Are they trained for that kind of security? Because those were, how many people were even at that right? That's a huge.
I know, but at the same, let me also tell you, it is not only when you carry guns that you are doing security. The gun is a different aspect of it. But I'm also aware that there is the licensed private security company organizations. There is the International Institute for Professional Security, various security organizations, and they've been pushing such that even private security organizations should be allowed to bear arms.
Well, it's a good thing you bring this up and you're clarifying what exactly you mean, that people should make their own arrangements,
Yes.
lest the people start getting misinformed or getting ideas.
Well, that's why.
As to whether or not they're allowed to carry their own guns or, employ their own hoodlums. After all, they'll say it's part of our own security arrangement.
No.
But does it scare you, though? I mean, are you frightened at the prospect that some people do have the capacity to wreak that much havoc? Either to scare people at rallies or maybe even on election day. First of all, we had explosions, and then secondly, we now had gunshots. It does show or signify that there could be some sophisticated people or groups, who have the know-how, either how to make explosives or to bring them in, or, I should say, are armed with guns.
Yeah.
Is it scary? I mean, that particular perspective.
Well, for me, I'm not scared because it's what has been, and whether you like it or not, it will continue to be. But we just must take measures such that they will not hold sway, to contain them.
And which was, starting a fashion, because what we're seeing, the two major presidential candidates signed an accord in Abuja, and then it seems to be catching on like the new fashion in the States, all the governorship candidates coming together to sign some form of pact. But it looks like it's just paper. Nothing is going to happen or change at the bottom, because you still have the supporters armed to the teeth, it would seem, and you also have people who are able to, make these explosives.
Yes, thanks, Mokwe. What I'm going to say here is that we shouldn't stop at just the main gladiators. This thing should cut across. We should start from the grassroots, okay? Whereby at the wards you find the leaders, the representatives signing. Within the street, the community, the town, you should find the leaders. Because the leaders, we all know the leaders. We all know who they are.
Well, this has happened.
And we know the followers too. We know the people fomenting the trouble. We know the people you have to buy a keg of illicit liquor for, or some other things that will raise their high and make them high to start reacting otherwise. We know them.
This has happened. And one will wonder, what should we be seeing next from both the political parties and the security agencies?
Sorry?
In the aftermath of this,
yes.
What should we be expecting from the political parties and the security agencies?
Well, my take is the security parties should caution their followers. They should caution their followers. And the security agencies should also brace up and identify, if possible, follow up with these people.
This has the potential of reprisals.
It does have. So that's why we're saying that before the next political rally, the security agencies should go to town.